Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with special guest Kiki, and also our disembodied hands, Quindy and Justin and John. Yes, this is my surprise, my Monday surprise for you. Hi there, pretty girl. Yes, don't eat my paint, okay? Don't eat my paint. Thank you, Kodiak, for the 9 months resub. Oh, wait, did we get a resub up there? Did I see Robin resubbed? Hold on. Kiki's like, who's Mama working? Oh, it's 36 months, Kiki. This is a special one. You might get excited. Triple sub-anniversary, triple sub-anniversary, triple sub-anniversary. Happy triple sub-anniversary. Good girl. Can you look up here? There we go. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Oh, yeah, good girl. All right. I don't want to encourage this too much because I need to work, okay? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Do I need to put the gate up again? No, that's not for you. I might need to put the gate up again. One second. I have a torture device. Hold on. Yeah, you don't like this, do you? I have a crate separator that I'm using to block her off from under my desk because my desk has an opening at the side. And she can get under there and get in trouble. So there we go. All right. Good girl. All right. Yes. Actually, I trialed this on Saturday, and she was perfect. That was a different time of the day, though, so we'll see if she's perfect today. Hi there, Doglight. You know what I need? I need to put something up against that, I think, to keep it there. But I don't know what I can put there that you wouldn't want to eat. So we're going to just try it with that grate. Okay, Katie? Okay there, Kiki? All right. So, yeah. Yes. But, yeah, I trialed this on Saturday, and she was fine. No. Go settle. No bites. Now I got her all riled up by getting her up on my lap, which is normally not allowed. So, see, for you guys, I've pushed the rules. The rules are already disintegrating. Right, Kiki? Can you settle? She will eventually. Once I'm not paying attention to her. She has her spot in here. It's not her favorite place. She's like not used to this room yet. Yeah, you gonna settle? But there's not much she can get into. I've gated off everything pretty much. Those crate separators are useful things. Like, not just for crates anymore, folks. Yeah. So totally, using those to like gate off my my closet and the underside of the desk. What's up there, Keekster? Don't pull down my sound baffle now. You know better. All right, so we'll have some distractions during the stream today, but this is part of the Great Kiki experiment. She'll be 6 months old right after Christmas, and she's usually, I've mentioned before, she's really energetic and she's kind of dingy. We have problems with her jumping up and stuff like that. Well, yesterday I took her to puppy class, and they had a spot open with the puppy preschool or with the puppy play group afterwards. So they allowed her into the puppy play group. Good girl. Can you settle? No, we're going to stay in here. You can settle. And she was like the perfect dog for the rest of the day because she got so much playtime just in 25 minutes. So I was thinking that if I left her out of her crate more, we might get a better behaved Kiki. So that's why we're doing this. She doesn't have a ton of crate time during the day anyway, but there are like blocks of an hour and a half where I just don't want to have to be distracted. But we're going to see. We're going to see how you are. Yeah, who am I talking to? I'm talking to the camera. Yeah, I am. She's like looking up here going, what are you talking to, Mama? What am I talking? Hi, how you doing? You going to settle and be a good girl? Here's a treat for you. Yeah, can you sit? You're very smart, I know. I know you're very smart. Can you sit? Gotta sit. Can't have your treat if you don't sit. That's right. Good girl. All right. So yeah, slight distractions. I also, my back is kind of wonky today, so we'll see how long we go. But we're going to experiment with having a Keekster here. Yeah, Keekster. You go settle. You go settle. You like the carpet there? Or did I put too many toys on it? One second. I crowded it up with all of her toys. Here. You can settle here. There. You have toys. Yeah, you have toys. You could even throw them behind Mama in the camera frame and make the audience laugh, but Mama would be very upset. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she definitely thinks that humans are weird. Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. So yeah, she'll probably settle down once I totally stop paying attention to her. Oh, hi. Unless you put your head in my lap and then you get pettins. That's the rules. When you have a head in your lap, you must pet it. But yeah, hold on. Little bit of allergies today. Oh, right, Pa? Right, Papa? Alrighty. Alright. Let us work on wings, because, you know, y'all know that I have an allergy to wings, so that's what we prioritize. And periodically, there may be a Kiki incursion. We'll see. Yeah, can you settle down, girlie? Yeah, you've got some chews and toys. You want to sit under the desk on my feet, or under my chair on my feet. All right, you can do that. I guess I have a dog on my feet, guys. I guess it's just the way it's going to be. But anyway, how are you all today? What kind of weekend did you have? I'm going to get my paint set up here. Look at this. You can stay down there. You've got stuff to chew. Bring a toy. It's like having a little kid. It's like you have the capacity to figure out how to play. You have your toys. Stop bugging Mom. Brief puppy intermissions. Yes, yes. Oh, did you find your bully stick? Good. Good girl. Oh, you got a ball. Yeah, you can squeak that in here. Yep, those are books. Yep. Good girl. Thankfully, the bookshelf is not high enough for her ball to get rolled under it, I think. But I'm not sure on that. All right, let's get our mixing brush and get some of this stuff mixed up. So yes, brief distractions as there is a puppy in the room. But hopefully, I have all faith that she will eventually fall over. Big snow, huh? We had rain all freaking weekend. Pouring rain. Yeah, I know. The weekend kind of did escape, didn't it, Quindy? We had a lot of... We went and bought a tree and stuff. Yeah, good girl. Those are mine, though. You don't eat them, okay? Not for Kiki's. I agree, Kiki. We went to get a tree on Saturday. We set it up. We have lights on it, but no... only one ornament. We haven't had, like, time to put the rest of the ornaments on. And then yesterday I had a lot of shopping to do. And then yesterday I had the Kiki, which pretty much took up the whole morning because since we stayed for the play group, it was like an hour and 45 minutes, and it's like 20 minutes either way. So that was a long morning just wrangling the Kiki, and then I decided to go to the store and get some steak and make some cookies, which was good. So yesterday was good. I felt like I got good, like detox time yesterday. Zero mode. Oh, no, Cornico. Flourish is out sick. Oh, picking up the slack, yeah. Well, I have pet allergies, and I still have pet sturgeon. Although I'm not nearly as bad as her. If I had to get shots, I don't know if I would have a pet. Yeah, I don't know if I would, Keeks. I don't know. Hi, how are you doing, big head? Everybody saw how big your head was on the camera. Yes, everybody did. How big you've gotten. I have to take a Zyrtec every day. But you know what? Half the time I have to do that for the environmental allergies anyway, so So yeah, call that weird if you will, Turgeon. What? What are you doing? You can lay down here. That's fine. Go ahead. Lay down. You can be under my chair. You can be as close to Mom as you want. We'll figure out your spot eventually. On Saturday, she was actually behind the screen here that she wanted to lay down, but I don't know what her dealie is today. Hi, Anara. Kiki is here with us in the office. We're doing experiments. I have to mix up some paint. Okay, so we were using mostly 9161 as our main color, and then we were shading it down with some russet brown and brown liner, and we were doing our tan skin and rosy shadow mix for the skin tone. And we're going to be using that a little bit on the wings too. So we did a wing. We did most of a wing. I need to do more of the in between. Let's get on focus first, Kiki. There we go. So we did a little bit of the lines across the wing with really thin paint to bring out those shadows, and I was going down the middle with more skin tone to fade the lines out. So we'll be doing a lot of wing work, and the reason I do wings first is because I I find them very boring. Most times they're just kind of a pain in the butt, and I've painted so many of them, especially succubus wings over the years. So for me, I would just rather get the wings over with first, because I know if I paint the rest of the model and I haven't done the wings, I'm not going to have the energy at the end of the model to paint the thing that most bores me. So one of the strats that oh good, she settled. One of the strats that I advise you guys on to maybe try if you have problems with stuff like this is to paint the most boring part of the model first when you've got a lot of oomph for the model. If you paint the most boring part first, that leaves the fun part for the last, and then when you're getting tired of the mini, you still have the fun part to paint, and that usually is enough to get me through. So if you've got a brain that's wired kind of like mine on that, it may help you to do that. Writing holiday cards, awesome. Yeah, I had to get mine out and get going on that too, Inara. I actually want to do them this year. I didn't do them last year because we just moved in and we were still like kind of up in the air. But this year, really no excuse to not to update people on my address. That's when I tend to do holiday cards. But yeah, I would like to send holiday cards this year. So let's do our shadow color. That's a lot of russet brown with some shield and brown liner to kind of tone it down a bit. The Kiki is in the office, Dogfather. She's still up here. Hold on, Kiki, do you want to come up and say hi one more time? Do you want to come up and say hi one more time? Do you want to come up? Kiki, do you want to come up? Up, up. Oh, she doesn't want it. She knows she's being a good girl. Sorry, Dogfather. Hi, good girl. Hi. You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl, big head. Large McBig head. I know. I know. Okay. Mama's going to work. If you're not going to come up and say hi, then Mama's going to work. No, you cannot go back there. I'm sure you'd like to stuff yourself in that corner, Kiki, but no, not going to work. She's like digging at the carpet under my feet. You cannot dig that carpet up. I'm sorry. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. Such a silly puppy. Hey, this is better than being in your crate, Papa, so you better be good. Make the most of it. What are you doing? Heater, what are you doing? She's trying to eat my carpets. Yes. Yeah, you're trying, but no. I brought you toys. She's like, but the best toy is the one that I don't normally get access to, Mom. And that's your carpet. I have little rugs. I have rugs put down underneath my painting desk. That's just to protect the floor. Hi. Oh, hi. Are you just going to lie down here? Yeah, good girl. Good girl. She's like lying with her front end underneath my chair. So silly. You can be there if you want. You're fine. You are a good girl. You're the goodest. Yesterday she was the goodest girl. Because she got so tired having her play date. She definitely is good with other dogs, though. So I'm happy about that. The socialization definitely... Yeah, exactly. You just want to eat my carpet. Quit it. What are you doing? Kiki. No, no. No, no. You think it's a toy, but it's not. She's like totally a toy, Mom. Totally a toy. Yeah, you gotta be good. Oh, well. I guess if she eats a cheap Target carpet, I'm not like that, like, annoyed. But as long as you don't swallow it, Keekster. You're not permitted to swallow it. All right, so let's get our 9161 in. Oh, I see. Oh no, now she's really playing with it. You trying to play with the carpet? You are. What a snoodler. No, Pa. No, no. She's like, I'm totally playing with this. There's nothing you can do. Ah, I see. Yeah, this monster dog is probably way too much for you, Turgeon, especially at this age. When she's older, she'll be a little better behaved. Keekster. She's what a dingo. Why did we do the dingo outcross, everybody? Why did we put dingo in this puppy? That must have been a dingo outcross that I didn't hear about. All right, and we're using a mixture of rosy skin and tan skin today. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's, hey, no. No, are you going to eat that? You want to eat that, don't you? Keeker, what am I going to have to do here? Am I going to have to, I'm going to have to get you off, yeah. Sorry, Keeks. You've just lost your privileges. You've just lost your privileges. You cannot eat the carpet. That means I'm going to gate myself off from you. This is going to be like a comedy of errors here. No, mine. Mine, Kiki. I may need another gate. Keeks, leave it. Thank you. Good girl. Yeah, go settle. Sorry, no carpet. Yeah, go paw up that one. You're fine. I ruined her fun. Now she's trying to find more fun. Yeah, Kiki is way too much for a pet-phobic person. Like, Kiki would terrify you. I'm sorry. I'm trying hard to turn her into a dog that isn't quite as terrifying, but... Hi there. Yeah, you're a good girl. I just don't want you eating my carpet. It's synthetic. It's not natural fibers. It's not going to be good for you. Yep. So instead, we're just putting together some paint here, Paw. Yeah, you're supposed to be my sidekick here. You're not supposed to be my carpet-eating disruptor. Yeah. Go settle. Yeah, I hear you, Epic Adventure. That's the thing, right? 5 months. This is where Kiki is too, so it's all about the wants more attention. Eventually, she'll get bored and settle down. Eventually. Oh. Yeah, David was dubious too. But now David really, really is enjoying Kiki. When she's really good, well behaved like she was yesterday, he's just like all loves to pet her. Yeah, doesn't he? He was even training her this morning. I caught him actually doing some training exercises with her. I was like, oh. I tried not to mention it, so he'll keep doing it. So let me get my paint down here. So I'm using my reference sheet to mix up some colors here. And that's what they look like before I mix them in. So we've got russet brown with a little bit of the brown liner in here to darken it down. Make it a little, I want it a little less vibrant. I want it a little more muted because of the skin tone being a bit muted. And then there is some shield brown in there also because that's our mid-tone for the wings, and I like to mix a little bit of my mid-tone into my highlight and shadow. So once I get this skin color mixed up, I will be mixing in a little bit of this color into that. She's so silly. So we're putting a little bit of water in each. We've got, don't need to do a base coat on this side, so we'll see. I want to finish up this wing before we go to the other wing. I may need to get a piece of, hey little girl, what you doing? Did you push your ball under there? You did, didn't you? You are like, Mom, want to come rescue my ball? Want to come? I bet you can get it. That's such a short shelf. You can stick your snoot under there. You can stick your snoot under there. Do you really need Mommy to come and get it? You are such a dingo. This is not going nearly as well as Saturday. Maybe it's because it's in the morning. Aha, there it is. Yeah, there you go. There's your ball. And we've got a little bit of a thing here. There we go. All right. All right, Keekster. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Poor Turgeon. Yep, settle down, little paw. All right, so I'm going to mix these guys up, and I'm going to put a little bit of this into that, and then put a little bit of this into that. Oh, I do need one extra drop here, though. We're using brown liner for our lining. So when I do this, I do try to get most of the paint off of my brush, my mixing brush, but there's still paint in it when I go over here. That's just going to darken that shield brown down just a little bit. And again, I'm going to get most of the paint off of my brush here. No, no, ma'am. No, no, ma'am. That's not what we do. And then I'm going to mix this into the skin tone. Just going to take it a little bit browner, a little bit, give it more in common with the brown here, and then I'll probably even do the opposite. I'll take this out, and then I'll mix it into this. So now I've got a little bit of everything and everything, and we have essentially a wings and skin triad. Yeah, we have a loose Kiki today, so it's going to be very interesting, Thormel. Currently, she's trying to dig up all my carpets. We tried to put the area rug down again in the other room. Like, we'd taken it up when she was a baby because we didn't want housebreaking accidents. But then we put it back down over the weekend, and Kiki right away was like, whee! She pawed it up into big balls, and we're like, oh no. So I'm like, another 6 months, honey. You have to wait another 6 months before we can try this again. So, yep, it's a work in progress. So there's our colors. I think I'm actually going to go and make an additional highlight because I want to bring up the middle of the wing lighter. I like to make it a little bit lighter toward the outside edge of the wing because the membrane is probably thinner where it's being stretched. So it kind of creates that illusion if you do that. So I'm going to go more rosy with that. Pop a brush full of 2 of these over here and grab a couple of rosy skin drops. Yeah, I trialed Kiki. She's just more calm in the afternoon, I think. So after her second walk, so she was a little better for the stream over the weekend. But you know, it's all work in progress. This is for those who came in late and wonder why I have a Kiki loose in here. This is our grand experiment day. I've decided to keep her out of her crate for the majority of the day, which means I have to pay more attention to her, but will be worth it if she turns into a better behaved dog because she's not cooped up all day, right? So I'm going to add some white to that just to make sure that it is actually lighter. Yeah, lighter and rosier than that. All right. We'll see that. There. Okay. And when you're doing highlights, when you're mixing highlights, good, she's a good girl. You do want to make sure that you can see a shift in light to dark. So even though these aren't exactly the same colors, I can see that this one is definitely a shade darker than this one. You want that for sure. I would even probably be better off if I really wanted to shade these wings with this brown by doing a 50-50 mix between these two. It would probably give me a softer shadow. I can do that, or I can just thin this color more. Those are your options when you're trying to blend 2 colors together and you're doing like wet over dry shading, which is also called layering and some other things. You can either mix intermediate shades or you can work with really thin paint. Because when you thin the paint a lot, it's going to become more translucent, so that you can naturally get it to blend a little easier. Or you can just use thicker paint and mix more intermediate shades. Good girl, Keeks. Hey, yeah, you can come over here. You just can't claw at the carpet. It's not allowed. All right, so let's get these wings going on. Let me grab a little bit of bubble wrap. You guys see my colors, so I can move this out of frame. And I'm gonna grab the bubble wrap out from under my limbo model over here. Steal it temporarily. It's a small piece. Just helps. What you doing? Hi. Hello, little dog. Hi. Hello, little dog. Hi. So it just helps keep from rubbing the paint off, essentially. And really, I'm just gonna just kind of have it on my hand, just like I would have it normally on my hand. But your skin has some people's skin is more acidic than others, but your skin can definitely cause rub off if the paint is thin. Right, Kiki? Are you going to let me paint? Are you going to be a good girl? Maybe? Maybe. So one thing I want to do first is what I was doing before, which is to take down kind of accentuate this fade that I was doing in the middle of this. Make it a little bit lighter. So I've thinned this paint down to about 2:1. Good girl, you can settle there. That's fine. Once I figure out where she wants to settle in this room, I'll put a bed down, but that's where I was hoping you would settle, Keeks. She just settled off to the side here, which was originally where I wanted her to be in this room, but I decided to give her the option of deciding where she would settle down. So as I paint the skin tone layers over this, I fade out the middle part there. And if it gets a little bit too warm in here, I'm going to get up and open the window a little bit more. I did open it a bit this morning. So I'm going to bring in a little bit more light toward the bottom of this. I'm going to knock out some of these wrinkles a little bit more toward this edge. What I really need to do is I need to get online and see if I can find a pet sitter for Keekster, because David's parents, when they come into town, we're going down to see an art exhibition at, I think, the Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco. And that means leaving Kiki alone for like 4 or 5 hours. And I really don't want to leave her in a crate for that time. And I'm kind of just like kind of grumpy about the whole thing, to be honest. But I'm going to try to get her a pet sitter, I think, just for that time, if I can. It's a little late notice, but his parents aren't animal owners, so they don't really understand the way that animals limit you, especially when they're younger. Like, they wouldn't want to be trapped inside of a crate for 5 hours, right? Like, can she do it? Yes, she can. I mean, but she only really does that kind of long stint in her crate at night. So yeah, I'm not okay with it. I'm going to kind of go transition to this a little bit, just because I feel like I get a little bit more, you guys can see the color a little bit more when I don't have the bubble wrap. That's the problem with the bubble wrap, is it's white, right? It's clear, so it seems white, reads as white, and that means that it makes it a little harder to see some stuff on the wing. So yeah, just a little bit lighter toward the edge. See, I probably should put that on my list today to research. There does seem to be a lot of dog sitters in this area, so that's good. Let me just pop that onto my thing right away. Find a dog sitter for gallery day. Yeah. We want to find one anyway that we can work with on a regular basis. I'd rather have a sitter, I think, than kennel her, although we did think about a board and train too. Alrighty, so how did we get to this this area? We thinned down our shield brown mixture, and I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to thin it down even more. I'm going to take some and move it to a separate well so that I don't have to lose the consistency on my first mix. I am going to add a little skin tone into it because, you know, why not? And mix that 50-50 color that I was talking about before. And we'll see how this goes. So really I'm just kind of looking at where there's sculpted lines on these wings. Sculpted wrinkles. And I'm also painting it down the sides to get a little bit of a shadow. I mentioned last time, I used to paint Sophie when there aren't that many wrinkles painted or sculpted onto the wing, Then I typically actually do a feather pattern on her wings, just because she's really an angel for a succubus. But this one has so much sculpted detail that I really don't feel like I can do that. It won't really carry very well. So I'm holding the wing at a bit of an angle so I can see these sculpted striations, and kind of like just make little dashes to mark them for myself, because they're harder to see at all angles. I think I've got it pretty good there. So now I'll grab that mixture. It can be hard to, like, when you don't have it tilted. The challenge here is keeping it tilted at a good angle so I can see the striations, but also at an angle that makes it comfortable for me to paint them. It's kind of a struggle. And I think I can see a couple of others suggested up there. So there we go. So we've got this kind of laid out. Need a little bit more over here. I'm going to shade more heavily up against the wing where it curves here. Just you can see that subtle shadow I'm bringing in. Yeah, it's sculpted. You can see it there. And then I am going over it with paint to bring it out. Yeah. That's what we'll be ending up doing, is finding pet sitter for Kiki. That's what I would prefer. And yeah, she can go, like, for bedtime. She goes from 9 to 7:30-ish, I think. And that's just now as a baby, so she'll probably become a little better as she gets older. What is that, Gibson? We're doing Sophie. No, I didn't rescind my dragon, the fact that I won't paint a dragon on stream. Actually, Gibson, you haven't been around, really. Yeah, it is a Sophie wing, but we did a dragon. We did our dragon poke tool. Yeah, I had everybody really liked this model, and so did I, so. I also had people vote on upcoming models. I don't know if you were there for that, Gibson. If not, you missed the voting. You must now deal with what other people want me to paint. All right, I still feel like I need this to get a little darker. The puppy has finally calmed down. She's sleeping in the corner over there. So yeah, I do like to bring a shadow in along the edge there. A little bit of shadow. Let me take my flannel off. Actually, it is getting warm in here with both me and the pup, and with the door closed. There we go. Essentially, this is an exception a little bit, Turgeon, because they snap right in. So these wings are actually like, they will actually just clip right in, although I'll still glue them in the end. I don't know if I want to mess with them right now, though. But essentially, you're able to just snap these wings into place. They'll just kind of set. Yep, there we go. So I always paint the wings all, like, to the top level before I attach them. Always. I don't ever attach them and then expect to do any work on them of any detail at all. Because trying to paint the wing when it's attached to a model is 50 times more difficult than just painting it like right here. So I do all the wing before I attach it, because it's like, it's just, if you think about it, like, you have so much more stability here to do detail and to do highlighting and shading. And if you were trying to do this, like trying to turn the model around, the model would get in the way. Absolutely, actively it would. I think it's madness to attach the wings first and then paint them, if you're doing any amount of detail on them at all. So I will finish these wings absolutely before I attach them to the model, and I probably won't attach to the model until I have the model itself painted. It'll be the last thing that I do. So I went a little lighter on the striations for this one, and I like it a little bit better. Though I do feel like I need a little bit more toward the other edge. Yeah, I feel very strongly about that. A lot of people, I know that it's more satisfying in a lot of ways to be able to construct the model entirely and then paint it, but with wings, you're really letting yourself in for a headache if you do that. You just won't be able to really paint them, not very well. Yeah, I mean, think about it. If this wing is attached to her and I'm trying to paint across it like this, then I have to worry about her getting in the way, right? Like, I'm going to turn it again, it won't be at a good angle. It's already hard to get the wing at a good angle where I can see the striations and also, like, have a comfortable brush angle. So adding the model into that is just going to complicate it even more. And the last thing you want to do is to complicate this thing. Like, you really don't want to make it any harder than it already is. But yeah, also I mentioned earlier, wings are my least favorite thing to paint in the universe. So when there's a model with wings, I know I have to paint the wings first and I have to finish them, or I'm just not going to want to do it. So now I've got my lines a little stronger. Now I'll take the skin tone paint, and come down the middle to just do a fade in. And because my my skin tone has been thinned, you can still see a little bit of those lines through it, and that's what you want. It's much easier to do it this way than to try to fade the wings in from both sides. Make no mistake, top level mini painters are always looking for the easiest way to do something and still get a good result. Like, just because we enjoy painting to a high level, which many people would consider to be a very hard thing, doesn't mean we're not on the constant lookout for ways to go faster and easier. Yeah, wings with feathers. Yep, don't even start me. I didn't have to do a lot of those. I did a lot of Sophie wings and dragon wings. Feathered wings don't really give me the heebie-jeebies quite as much if the feathers are well sculpted, because then I feel like I can have some fun. Like the Anubis guy I'm working on my own stream. He's got a huge feathered cape, and actually it was kind of fun to do that. Yes, well, that means that if you're painting a model with this on it, that you'll want to do the wings first. The rock is different, actually. That's a good That's a good thing to bring up, actually, Pendrake. The rock is different because it's feathery all over, but I think I would still do the wings separate and finish them out, even though I know when I slot those in there, I might need to do some putty work and paint that too. I would still finish out the wings first. But yeah, the rock, honestly... Oh, you did a fairy dragon, Argent. So now we have a thick fairy dragon. A fairy dragon who's been eating too many bonbons. And yeah, like there is such a thing as when it's a huge thing like the Argent or the rock of just, especially if you're going to airbrush it, then there's an argument easily for assembly. But it will make it harder. It will make it a lot harder for you if you want to do detailing. It's just a lot more of a pain. When you have to manipulate the whole model to get it to a comfortable angle to hit those feathers or to do a pattern on the wings. If you're just doing a big blended surface for the wings, then by all means, gosh, use an airbrush. Assemble the whole thing using an airbrush. But if you're doing any patterning at all on it, it's just so much easier to do it before assembly. That's great worm thick Argent to me. All right, Argent, you say so. Argent, thick Lord of the Fairy Dragons. He's a chonk. I don't like the rock because I don't like painting, feathers and wings. So I find it really tedious and boring. I think that big birds, unless you're doing a lot of different colors and interesting patterns, I think big birds are as tedious as big dragon wings, like, for me. That's why I'm like, get the airbrush out. Grim Talon would definitely drive me to airbrush. That's why I didn't buy one. Yeah, so the Argent is a chunk. I don't know why the good dragon, the silver dragon, had to be a total chunk, but he did. I guess we have enough svelte. We have the svelte copper dragon. So once again, coming in, I actually hit the highlights on that a little bit. I'm going to bring in my brown. Yeah, now we have a sleepy doglet over in the corner. That's good. That's what I kind of hoped would happen. Because she normally sleeps in her crate during my stream. So I figured she would kind of settle down for a nappy nap. For those who do not realize, because of course she has settled down, I have Kiki loose in the room today with me. We did a trial run on my personal stream on the weekend of just having her in my office while I was streaming, and it went very well. So today I am trying, she is 5.5 months old, and I am essentially giving her a lot of out of her crate time today to see if she's better behaved. And she should have more of a chance to kind of expend energy. Because her biggest thing with us is like the jumping up and the mouthing, and most of that is just too much pent up energy, I think, from the crate time. So I'm gonna see if that's true. Like, I'll leave her out almost all of today. She hates her crates, so. Did the rock as a phoenix, yeah. No airbrush, never again. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds painful, Graniko. Feathers are more work. Depending on the sculpt, Pendrake. Depending on the sculpt, feathers are a little more work. It really depends on, because they're more textured, right? Whereas with the dragon scales, you can opt in or opt out of texturing them, but with wings, you really don't have an option. because the feathers are usually sculpted very textured. So I actually think that feathered wings are more work. But yeah, you're right. I mean, essentially they're sculpted the same, right? They're overlapping. So I am just getting this kind of shade. I want more of a shadow up here at the top, where the overhang here is, where the bones come together pretty deep. Got a nice shadow going on over here. This is looking pretty good. Yeah, off the table until you get a spray booth or spring. Yep. Yeah, we still haven't done a test print with our 3D printer. David set it up, but he's like, I almost see him regret it. Like, I'm almost seeing him kind of like regret it as he realizes the amount of work that working with the 3D printer is going to be. But I'm giving him time. I might just have to get lychee and mess around with it. We'll see. I certainly have enough on my plate not to add 3D printer crap to it. I mean, that's why I didn't make an argument for buying one. But now that we have one... Oh, a peacock. Yeah, we'll need a bigger tail for sure. Plasticard probably, right? Do you think, Karenico? No, I don't think Reaper's ever done like a... I think we did a quaddle in the old days. Like we've done I think we've done a quaddle, and that's a feathered dragon pretty much right there. Feathered serpent. But beyond that, no, I don't think so, Kendrick. Iran is a traditionalist, and remember, we're aiming for the gaming market, so you have to make sure your dragons fit some sort of niche in a D&D way. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, our garage is really cold right now. That's where the 3D printer is set up. I think we should probably wait till spring. Putting my coat back on, or my flannel back on, just because the draft has gotten pretty strong from that window. Yeah, I think I would start with Plasticard, and then I would bring in green or another putty to just do like suggestions, feathers on the edges, maybe. I don't know that I would. I guess you could just make it slightly longer, not go for the full peacock tail, but just a longer tail with the longer fin feathers. Yeah, our garage is only heated by being close to the house. It doesn't have any direct heat, so. All right, so I want to get these struts painted up, but we've got our wing pretty much nicely. It'll look nice once it's on. Right there. It's a little bit of like freehanding on the on the interior, but it's not enough to be distracting. So, pardon me, gotta put a little bit of a highlight down the middle of one of those. But hopefully you can see like that doing the patterning there with the striations makes it look much cooler and gives it dimension and depth. There's the unpainted wing, or the wing with just the flesh tones blocked in. Yeah, that's what I figured, random user. That's why I was thinking we'd wait till spring when we get more 70-degree days proper. We'll have to plan our printing to be in the half of the year when it's warmer here. Just bringing in a little bit of light down the middle here. Yeah, we're not in a hurry. Random user, I mean, thanks for the tip though. And like I said, David has seemed to, like, he has enough work to deal with right now, and plus his folks are coming, so I don't know that he's gonna be in too much of an urgent mind frame to get it going before the warm weather hits. And I've got a really busy winter coming up, so I'm probably not going to step into the breach there. I mean, it'll be cool, but we're not, yeah. I think neither of us is the type who's going to really go down the bunny hole of 3D printing. Like, we've got one and we're going to use it, and we'll learn just enough to get a good print off of it so that we can use it. Yeah, then probably just elongating feathers, bringing more feathers out and back behind it, longer feathers, right, here, Nico? Yeah, I might use a really thin plastic card for that so you can bend it. Get kind of the swooping, kind of curved feathers that way. There we go, a little bit of fade down the middle of that. Oh, interesting, small greenhouse tent. Yeah, that's cool, Minara. Yeah, if we get really into it, we're the point where we're like, we want to be printing, you know, year round, I'll remember that. Thanks for the tip. Alrighty, now I want to get a little bit more of these struts are mostly highlighted, but I want to touch up my lining a little bit my shading, so I want to get my brown liner out. Ah, doing the metal wire, or like the sheeting, the mesh, maybe. It really depends on how much green work you want to do. If you want to do a minimum of green work, then I might use thin plastic card for the feathers and just like build out the feathers and then put green over them, and to pre-bend them so that then once the green cures, it'll kind of hold them in that shape. But yeah, it's up to you. You could do. There are so many different ways you can do that. And you have the vision in your head of exactly what you want it to look like too, so. And that's going to impact. Like, I know what I would be thinking of, but it's going to be different. Yeah, adding a framework or armature underneath, probably a good idea. I'm going to do a 2-to-1 with my round liner. And my back is holding up a bit, so it might be okay for the whole stream. Yo, Crowley. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the pupster right now. She's settled down nicely. She's like, oh, it's not time for mom to play with me, so I guess I'll just lie here. Just good because I need her to be in here this afternoon too. I need to do some Patreon work that involves painting, so. Oh yeah. Yeah, Crowley. Those who came in later, I have a Keekster in the house. If you go back after this stream ends, if you go down to the VOD and you watch just the very first part, I have her. She jumps up on my lap so you can see the Kiki. You can see how huge she is. Because I have Kiki colored glasses at this point. They call them Shiloh colored glasses, where your dog is huge, but you really don't see that your dog is huge. But when she jumped up on my lap and I saw that her head was about as big as my head on the camera, that put some things into perspective. So I'm just going to grab my Shield Brown here, my Shield Brown mixture, and just make sure that I've got some, got good coverage here toward the ends of these struts because they will tend to rub off. I'm going to grab my liner. Yeah, the thing is I'm only going to probably encourage her to jump up on my lap at the beginning of stream. Make it kind of an exception ritual because otherwise I don't want her doing it all the time. So, and we're training her not to jump up. She knows she's not supposed to jump up, so I have to be very specific about the time that she is allowed to jump up. And if we come in here every day and she's allowed to jump up just then, but never else time, then it'll become a thing that is very specific. Because yeah, she does know she's not supposed to. So I had a teary-eyed moment this morning when my friend Bridget, who of course is Kiki's breeder, she sent me a video. She's up at her mom's in the mountains, I think in Montana. And she brought Kiki's mom, Zammy, with her. And she sent me a video of just being out in the woods with Zammy. And of course she's talking to Zammy in the video. And Kiki, like, the minute she heard Bridget's voice, she just went, boom, like, where is she? Where is she? It was so cute. It totally made me teary-eyed. Some dogs remember and some dogs don't. I learned that with my other litters. It was funny because I did 2 litters with Kiri, with 2 different boys. And in the second litter, which was not done with our boy Leo, it was done with a different stud, those dogs really didn't have a lot of like memory. But when our first litter, which was done with Kiri and Leo, which were our 2 dogs, Leo's kids, like I walked in to one of our puppy people's homes when Jax was like 6. And he like totally remembered me and fell over crying at my feet. Whereas the dogs that I remet from the second litter were not like that. So sometimes dogs have like years of remembering on some things, which is really impressive. Her first human mommy is who I called. We're conflicted on whether to call Bridget Kiki's grandma or her first human mommy. Most of the time I just use grandma, but yeah, some dogs. Hey there, Philblom. We're talking about how some dogs remember people even years later, and some dogs just don't, just like people, I guess. You want a 3D printer, but you'd never paint any of it? Yeah. And that's kind of what I feel like David will get into too, if he actually does like really dive in. Although he is pretty picky these days, and he is very conscious of having it like we've got just a huge wall of resin, right? Like we don't need a lot more models, so I would like us to be very intentional about anything that we get to print. So I'm just relining here just to crisp things up a little bit. Make sure that, and I'm kind of using it as a shadow too to separate out these little strut pieces, the bones here. And not so much using it to like create a hard line, so I'm coming in with my shading a little bit afterwards. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Kiki is on her walk after this, because she is usually like coming out of her crate and she's like a pulling monster, but maybe she'll be better because I've had her out. Oh, big terrain pieces. Yeah, yeah, Big Adventures. Yeah, that's like Victoria Lamb of Victoria Miniatures, Ed's girlfriend. She she got that way. Like she was a Golden Demon winning painter, and then she got really into sculpting, and then she started her own miniatures company. And the next thing you knew, like she's like, I never have time to paint anymore. She's like, if it's almost a luxury. She's like, if one of my painters can't actually come through on a deadline, and I actually get to paint a unit, it's like almost like a guilty pleasure at this point. Oh wow, yeah, 8 years. That's good, Dogfather. Yeah, but it does make you tear up, doesn't it? Rid of the yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Epic, right? Like, it depends on like what you need, right? I did that. I did that math myself before I went freelance, um, and when I got to a certain point on the Patreon, like doing Patreon is what has made it possible for me. Absolutely, hands down. Otherwise, no way. Um, but the Patreon being the way it is makes me essentially that plus doing these streams for Reaper plus a little bit of extra on the side from Twitch and when I sell the model or whatever, um, that all keeps me high enough that I can exist freelancing. But it did take a while to build. Um, and if you do commission stuff, that's different. If you're a sculptor, that's different, right? I mean, the base you'll oh wow, funny Kerniko. But yeah, I mean, sculpting you if you are fast, you can make a living at sculpting. I mean, several of our sculptors do. Um, hey, what's up, Geeks? What's up? You a good girl? Hi. Hi. Did you wake up and go, where am I? I've done that. Yeah. Yeah, you're being a good girl. Hold on, gotta pet the Keeks. She just woke up. Hi, Keeker. What's up? Hi, big head. Large McBig head. You just want pets? Do you want to put your head on my lap? Should I move this? I can move this. Here. There. There, now my Keeker can come over here. Hi. Oh, my blood pressure is dropping, Keeker. I'm petting something furry. Yeah, you're good. Hi. Yeah. She is a very, very handsome, pretty girl. You're more than pretty, though. You're very handsome now. Yes. But yeah. So I guess don't automatically think that it might be just not till retirement. If you really want to do it, it's doable. But you got to figure out how you can work with it, right? If you're gonna do that. The other option, honestly, is not to go full time as an artist, but to go part time at your real job and figure out if you can do it that way. Like that's essentially what I am now. What's up, Pa? No, we're gonna stay back here for a little bit more. Not much longer. Not much longer. 20 more minutes. Can you do 20 minutes? Good girl. But yeah, so I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing here with Reaper is I'm, pulling a portion of my previous paycheck and I'm doing Patreon and stuff. So it gives me, doing a part-time real job, gives me more time for my art. But, oh, are you doing that again? Please, no. But it still gives me a little bit of a solid buffer. So that's another option if you really do want to kind of scale things. Because, yeah, the dream is real, but it's different for everybody. It's pretty much what it comes down to. Kiki, Yeah, I know I'm stopping you, and you're like, Mom, this is what I want to do. Mom. This is where Kiki gets annoying. This is the true test. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when your job is that demanding, then yeah, it's, and when you have family commitments as well, then that makes it difficult as well. You get a settle, Papa. Settle, Papa. Here, you. Yeah, you got to settle. Hi. Yeah, I know, this stream does do a full hour and a half, Pa. You gotta, learn to settle for that amount of time. Please. Little dog. You little dog. Such a dingo. Yeah, right, Zachariah. Well, at least you've got a timeline, Zachariah. It really is, I mean, it's all about figuring out, what do I need to live on? What do I need to live on really well? How can I get there? Or can I work my way to there, right? There's the traditional retirement thing is it's one road, but it's not the only road. Hey, Pa, what are you doing? You're being a dork. She's totally digging up my carpet. Oh, well. Your old sheep rugs from Target, Pa. You can have them. Yeah, I mean, I kind of follow the financial independence, retire early movement, just because I'm interested in it. Because I kind of like things that are different, that kind of buck the trend and prove that you don't need to do it like everybody else is doing it. I now have a puppy lying on my foot. I'm trapped here forever, guys. All right. But yeah, and a lot of those people, if you look at them, they're not really retiring. They're just making enough money to essentially leave the job they hated, and in exchange for doing something that they really enjoy. So most of them aren't really quote unquote retiring. They're not sitting on a beach sipping, margaritas. And I think that's kind of my definition of retirement too, is just being able to essentially, I'm almost doing it right now, right? I'm working on the Patreon, which is something I really love to do, and I love to stream, so I really enjoy doing this. I do wish I had a little bit more time for my writing, right? But that's got to earn itself. My writing has to become an income source before it gets that. It needs to earn it. Right, yeah. Right, they're retiring to enjoyable retirement. Right. Yeah, because, I mean, you can make money, so the question is just how much money do you really need? And can you do that, in kind of a hybrid or... I mean, I was doing it hybrid before I went full-time creative, right? I started my Patreon at the end of 2018, and at that point I had no idea that I was gonna end up with David or anything, but I worked my full-time job and I did the Patreon for 16 months, 17 months, and then I moved to California to be with David. And Kiri was so old, my dog at the time, she was so old, and she was definitely kind of infirm and needed extra care. So I asked David if I could try going freelance, if he would be okay with it. And he was, and so I did, and now I am, and I've managed it ever since April 2020. So we'll be coming up on 3 years of this. So yeah, my main thing now is just I would like more time to work on my writing. What are you doing down there? Are you eating that? Please don't eat it. Please don't. Are you eating that? Do not eat that. Hey, okay, all right. That's a no. That's a no, little doglet. I knew it was when they're quiet. When they're quiet, it's the danger sign, right? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Mine. Yeah, can you settle down? You've got toys. Eat your bully stick. She's like, but your carpet is so much tastier and more interesting. I never get to eat carpet. Not really. I didn't expect the Patreon to be a full-time thing. I just expected it to help me not be so stressed about money. I was carrying a pretty big rent at that time because I needed the house to keep my dogs after my divorce. So the Patreon really, Gibson, was more like leads to more sanity for Anne, although it was a lot of work on top of my regular job. But it did help a lot with the bills and everything. So it was, I was just pretty much carrying a job and a half at that point. And then it had gotten to the point where it was big enough to give me enough income where I didn't feel... Can you settle, please, Kiki? Settle down. Can you settle? Can you settle, please? Hey. Hi, big head. No, you cannot eat my paintbrush. Oh, second retirement. Cool. That's true. That sounds like pretty good there, Vic. It sounds like you're having fun. It's good. You should have fun. There's not enough emphasis on fun in our society. Hi there, Kiki. Are you exploring again? Kiki totally has a timer. She's just like, hey, it's getting to the end of the stream. She's like, I don't care if I'm not in my crate. I'm going to be annoying anyway. But, hey, Keekster, what are you? What? You. Oh, doglet. You and I, we're going to have a talk. She's like, the carpet. She's a toddler. Yep. It's true. And Patreon can't lead to David for you, Gibson. I'm sorry, because David is mine and nobody else can have him. Sorry. Only one David and he's mine. I'm just lucky I snapped him up before some other miniatures girl noticed that he was awesome. So just doing the same thing I did on the other side, but with my shading here. I'm just bringing in more of these shadows around the struts and around there. Got a little bit of rub off there, so I need to fix that. Hey there, Kiki. We are almost done, Keeks. We are almost done. Can you settle, Kiki? I know you want to go. She's like standing at the door. She's like, are we done? That's right. Hi there, cute toddler. Do you want me to turn the camera so people can see you and how silly you are? Maybe we'll call it a little early today. Mommy's back is not that great anyway. Let's see here. Where is... Ah! And then I gotta bend it down. There you are! Look at the camera! Good girl! Yeah! Now everybody can see the Keekster. Yeah! Oh no! Nomming! Wags. There you go, guys. There you go, guys. All right, let me get this back up where I can actually be me. All right, and I got it tilted. I got tilted. My puppy tilted me. Ah, she tilted me the other way. Kinda. I'm more or less right. Something like that. There, it's a little better. Yeah, there we go. Oh, she's huge. Yeah, she's immense. Growing like crazy. I know I hang out and build terrain. Yeah, right. Yep, big fluffers. Big fluff. Yeah. Yeah, she is a pretty girl, isn't she, Crows? Yeah, hi there, baby girl. Yeah, I know. I guess Dave probably wouldn't like look at us too funny. I mean, I got dog on my stream now, so if we leave a little early today to spare mommy's back, they can't really say anything, right? No. No nomming on my flannel. She's just being a dingo. All right, everybody. I'm gonna finish doing this and make the doglet just settle for a second. And then we'll just end on essentially shading on the back of the wing here. Yeah, have fun, Crowley. Yeah, you can't even say the hashtag free the Kiki anymore because she's free. Well, mostly. All right, I'm gonna grab. I'm doing kind of a mix between my russet brown mixture and more brown liner to get more of these things figured out. some more of those lines in. That's all right. I'll figure it out. That's the problem with not having the puppy cam not work, is that I don't have an extra Kiki cam. Settle down, please, girl. We'll get up and leave in a moment. You have to wait till 11, though. That's my minimum, Keeks. That's my minimum, Keeks. Hey, you want to eat my brush? You cannot eat my brush. You want to. You are so silly. She's such a silly. She's such a baby still. Only 5.5 months. She's just an immense baby. All right, there we go. Get those in there. I need to reward her more for settling next time. Yeah, we just had actually a really good play session this weekend. My obedience place has play groups. Dog father. Oh my. Oh my. Now you guys are getting the full treatment. But yeah, they asked us if we wanted to stay late and do a play group. So Kiki got to play with a German Shepherd Malinois mix and a big doodle and the bravest, the tiniest but mightiest Shiba Inu ever. This tiny but mighty Shiba Inu was only like 5 months old. She was like two Kiki heads would have made the size of this Shiba Inu. And she was like all over it. She's like, I will attack your head! Roar! She was totally like crazy. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to leave? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Give me 2. 11. It has to be 11, Keeks. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I've met some Shibas who are definitely more cat-like and more reserved and not wanting to go all in. But this Shiba like grabbed a toy and like smacked the German Shepherd with it. She was amazing. So we had a play date with those dogs, and it was fun. It was fun. Keeker was so tired. Oh my gosh, she was so crashed out after that yesterday. So fun. Oh, listen to that. Now we're getting dingo noises, Wookiee noises, as they call them. Wookiee noises? Do you have a Wookiee noise for me? You saying? What you doing? She's sitting down, staring at the door. All right, well, let's wrap it up since it's almost time. We're going to wrap it up. Kiki, are you ready? You're going to say bye to everybody? Yeah? So we illustrated our illustrations on the membranes up here. We touched it up, and we started finishing out the back so that we'll be able to work on that next time. I'm going to put this over here. Come here, Keekster. Do you want to come up on my lap? Yeah? Are you wanting to come up? Do you want to say hi to people? No? You're being a good girl. I won't knock you for not doing that. Yeah. When you're bigger, you'll be allowed to. Yeah, you'll be allowed to in limited situations. Kiki says, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to her dogliness. And, yeah. And yeah, so tomorrow, we're back to Jeannie. Yeah, so we're back to this guy. And we finished our peach, so I think I'm going to start working on the blue. Yes, and it's Rhonda at 2 p.m. Exactly. So yay, everybody. You welcome our new K-Line Overlord. I'm petting her right now. She wants pettins. Yes, good girl. Eating them up. Yes, thank you, everybody. Yeah, go back to the beginning so you can see the Kiki head. She was adorable. Right, sweetie? Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.